Hey guys, Offroad MudMowers. Today we're going to be getting my all-terrain lawn tractor build off engine running. Enjoy! So what I've got here is a 44 cubic inch, 25 horsepower Briggs V-twin with some PZ30mm carburetors on it, and I will be linking the carburetors and the throttle cables in the description below, so go ahead and check those out. The carburetors were about $21. I think the cables were $7. I might be a little bit more or less on the cables. But I've also got these stainless steel intake manifolds with the original gaskets on the back, but they're new. They're not actually the original ones. And they've got a 45-degree bend with a milled out flange that would bolt on the back of these carburetors. And it was TIG welded on the back heel, so it looks kind of nice. Same on the other side. One thing I want to change is these bolts that bolt the carburetor to the flange. I plan to have stainless steel studs. Those are a lot easier to work with. You can just slide the carburetor on and you're done. You just put the nuts on. But that's just temporarily. I do like these carburetors because they have an O-ring seal on the back. A lot more helpful than having to get an old ripped up gasket versus just having an O-ring. And I really like the looks of these stainless steel manifolds. You're not really going to see it much with this cover on here. It goes something like that. As you can see, I've already cut out most of the air filter stuff so these carburetors can fit in here. Keep in mind that I don't actually have my tin shears on as I'm cleaning them up and going to get them painted. But this would sit about here, pretty much level with that flywheel. And I'm going to have the cables run through here and probably just a couple holes in the air filter part. But one thing I gotta figure out is how to get this thing that clips on the front here. And I've got, because the old carburetor used to have two little things in the plastic manifold to bolt this onto. So I don't have those now, so I'm gonna figure out something that I can use to screw this on, just so it doesn't look too bad. I like this. I actually like these covers. I'll probably also paint just these little stripes in here red, and paint this part red and keep the rest of this black. I think that would look really cool. I've done it before. I'm also going to be drilling a hole where the sticker used to go, and most likely 3D printing a manifold, the 2-into-1, and it's going to have a 45-degree bend that will go right in between the carburetors and have a 2-inch snorkel that goes underneath the dashboard. I did that, having the separate snorkels. That was just kind of a little bit more work to do because you also have to change the 2 filters versus 1 I'm just going to have on this. But the 2-inch pipe will have enough air to feed both carburetors. And keep in mind, this is also not the frame I'm using. It's just a rolling chassis that I had to mount the engine to. But I think enough talking. Let's go and see if this thing will run. So after adjusting the valves, the intake was at 11 thousandths and the exhaust was at 15 thousandths. And replacing the starter, I finally got the fire up, so I'll show you what it does. as you can see, having 2 carburetors versus 1 is a lot better. Get more airflow instead of having 1 small carburetor. Probably a huge difference. I ended up replacing the starter because this one, after I adjusted the valves, which they were about 2 times out of whack what they're supposed to be, you got to turn it over by hand by then, and then I replaced the starter, and it spins really good. That was one problem I was having, is the starter wouldn't start it, so I put that one on and I adjusted the valves. So if you ever have like a V-twin or an overhead valve engine, and you can't spin over by hand, and the starter can't spin it, adjust the valves, because the intake was at 11 thousandths and the exhaust was at 15 thousandths, and they're supposed to be about 5 thousandths on the intake, 7 thousandths on the exhaust. But got that changed. I'm going to be putting the covers back on. I think I'm not going to run any of the cables through here. I'm just going to cut a hole and run the intake. Probably paint it black too. I'll do some little touch-up paint on there. I gotta get the parts, the little tins that go around the engine, all cleaned up. Yeah, they're pretty bad. And this one goes around the flywheel. But I gotta get all those done. I gotta clean both sides of them. I already done it to this one. And paint them black, and then put them on there. And then I've got these gaskets over here, up here. There's a 2-barrel carburetor. These things are junk. Get a single barrel. Just got a bunch of gaskets here. There's a sump gasket, some valve seals. Seals that go above or on the valves. A bunch of head gaskets. I might end up replacing the head gaskets. Exhaust valve gaskets. I'll probably replace those. I'm going to replace the valve cover gaskets and the breather gasket, and I'll also be replacing the 2 seals that I got. So this thing probably will not leak at all because it took me a long time to get this thing clean, even with a huge pressure washer. Still can't get all the dirt underneath it because this stuff is pretty much burnt on because it's right next to the exhaust. But pretty clean. I hope those covers cover up this stuff so you don't really see all of that. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video of Offroad MudMowers. Stay tuned for more.